Good evening and welcome to the Nighttime Heat directed on Prime FM 105.5. This program is also being streamed live on our YouTube channel and our Facebook page. Just tap Nighttime Heat. And of course, we're going to watch the show online. We are also streaming live on Prime FM Monrovia 105.5. Again, Prime FM Monrovia 105.5. We are streaming live. We want you to share the show, share the live videos so that your friends, your relatives, your loved ones can also follow what's happening tonight on the Nighttime Heat. I said to you, severally that this program is the only unboring nighttime show. Very unboring. We don't talk long. We just lead you to sleep, and right after we are through, you can just go to bed. We are not on up to 12 o'clock. For what? We can, suppress your sleep, but no, we can do that. So we are here tonight once again. And of course, my spirited panelists, they are always available. And of course, tonight we're going to talk, a number of issues. And of course, let me just acquaint you. You heard about the drama, right? That took place at on the grounds of the Supreme Court. So when Prophet Key appeared there today and made huge bystanders. I don't know why, but we're going to play a couple of videos. Even the interview, that the journalist conducted with a Prophet Key. He said, "Ravo, we're going to play that video when he touched the grounds of the Supreme Court, the interview with his darling wife, going to play that video as well." And then, tonight, almost like, we're going to allot some sufficient time to talk about Prophet Key. Did Prophet Key, didn't the Supreme Court tell Prophet Key to come with his lawyer? Didn't the court? Because I'm sure it was in that summer or that invite, come with your lawyer. But Prophet Key chose to leave the lawyer behind and came in and pleaded with the court that he doesn't have a lawyer. Can you imagine that? So if he didn't have a lawyer, he could, don't you think it would have been quite appropriate for Prophet Key to get a lawyer and that lawyer accompany him? But that didn't happen. So we're going to discuss what really happened there. The understanding of our panelists. So what do they think happened? Is it just a strategy by Prophet Key and some higher ups? So just at the end of the day, just call on the bench and say, "Look, let's pardon Prophet Key." We're also going to play you a video, a video of a director, we understand, at the Free Port of Monrovia on camera saying that she supports Prophet Key in all of his excesses because Prophet Key brought his government to power. We're going to talk a lot about that. And of course, besides that, the president appointed J. Brani Samuka to head a board that will help in the management of the 285 F moving equipment. But why is that necessary? Then we have the Ministry of Public Works and the GSA, in fact, responsible to manage the government's assets. What is it Brani Samuka coming to do again? We'll talk about that also. The senator of Bomi County, I hope I got it right, Bomi County, Senator Edwin Melvin Snow, has written the Senate. And of course, he wants the Senate to summon the Minister of Finance, Augustine Kpehe Gafuan, over what he calls the harmonization reversal. So in another word, Senator Snow is saying this government shouldn't undo what the CDC government did. But is there any positives in that? Because for our people for their lives to be improved, I think it's the reason why this government is trying to reverse the harmonization, because the harmonization peppered our people a lot. But now Edwin Snow and others are saying, but why is it so necessary to reverse it? So are they saying that they want our people to remain in abject poverty and suffering. We'll talk about that as well tonight. And of course, if time permits, Liberia has recorded a marginal improvement on Transparency International 2025 Corruption Perception Index. And the last time that report came up, Liberia was at 127. I think we are now 128. So a little, and so but Central thinks that it's not any gains to celebrate, because this government still has a lot to do with fighting corruption. So that report has been dropped in our chat room. We're going to talk about that as well at the latter part of the program. So let me just welcome quickly my guest. But in the meantime, we'll open the lines for you. 0778-460-793. Again, 0778-460-793, or better still, 0886-050507. Again, 0886-050507, just to tell us about what is on your mind. For the next 12 minutes, let's hear from you. What is on your mind? What's trending? What do you have concern for? What do you think is happening, and your own advice or your own opinion? We need to talk Liberia, and that's the reason why we are at this stage, to talk Liberia. Gone are the days that we took arms against it. No, we're not going to encourage that anymore. We'll talk until the appropriate things can be done. But in the meantime, let me try to welcome my panelists quickly. David Benedictus Erasmus Nambwe, welcome to the program.
Thank you, Sir Borden, and good evening to everyone. I'd like to also say good evening. I don't know what the time in the United States. I'd like to also say hi to Moses Sandy and Prince Kripla. I pray that Prince Kripla appears on the show today. Right. So, and then I'd like to say good evening also to Mr. Kennedy, my journalistic colleague, and the incoming lawyer in waiting.
Okay.
I'd like to say good evening to you all guys.
Thank you, Tabwa.
And the technical team, I've always live in and out, and then they can frown on me for that.
Yeah,
so good evening to the technical team, Patrick, and the lady, I've always forgot her name. Anyway, can't forget your name, you are Cinderella. Good evening, Cinderella.
So you have given her a name now. You sound very interesting. Okay, so let's welcome you.
Thank you, Mr. George, as always. Again, we are here tonight. I want to say good evening to our listeners in Radio Land, those watching us via the internet, Facebook, YouTube, to my brother Moses Sandy in the US, to Brother Kennedy, to Mr. David Benedictus Erasmus. Did I get it right?
Erasmus.
It's okay.
Erasmus Tagwe.
Erasmus Nambwe Tagwe. You got Nambwe out. You want to learn that name? I will teach you.
One of those school counties. How are you, bro?
Welcome to the program, George.
Thank you, Saba. Thank you. Good evening, Saba, to our colleagues, my colleagues here, panelists, my co-panelists, Mr. Edwin Famule, and Mr. Tagbe, also Mr. Sandy. The weather is giving them tough time in the US. I know that the cold, the place is too cold, but I hope that he will have the time to join us. And to our technical team, I want to say thank you. You've been very excellent. You've been doing very well behind the mic, behind the scene. Without you, I know we won't be able to be on air. So thank you very much. And to the public, the listening public, thank you. Please share the show. On your Facebook page and whatever chat room that you are in, please share the show so we can give opportunities to others to listen to the show.
Thank you. I'm sure we are expecting Prince Kripla to join us tonight, and Moses Sandy as well. As soon as they come in, we're going to introduce them. We're going to bring them on. But they haven't yet. So in the meantime, again, we'll just in 5 minutes, not much time. You can put your calls on 0778-460-793. Again, 0778-460-793. Better still, 050507. Again, 0886 050507, or the alternative line 0776 540 987. Again, 0776 540 987. Just in the next 4 minutes, let's hear from you. What is it trending? What is it you want to talk about? This country, Liberia. We'll have to talk and talk and talk until we can see the appropriate things being done. We have to talk until we can see our country reaching a level, like Ghana, even Nigeria, Ivory Coast, and countries that are around us. We have to talk and talk. We got to make sure that our country is improved. If an administration is in office and not doing the appropriate thing, let's talk. Let's just be civil, not being aggressive and raining lots of invectives. And let us not be any a replica of any keys, because we know the keys and they are always aggressive and raining insults. We're not going to be that. But let's talk about Liberia. We have only 3 minutes to allow you. 0778 460 793. Again, or better still, 0886 050507. Again, 0886 050507. That's the numbers to call, and you are live. In the next 3 minutes, we want to hear from you because we believe you are very important. You got some, apparently you got some issues on your mind, some trending issues that you want to talk about, either about your community or either about the country, or either about some opinion you have from either governance or structure or whatever it is. Let's just hear from you. If you wish to 0778 460 793. Because at 8:20, I'm going to again hear from a panelist as to what's on their mind, and you may not have the opportunity until apparently at the close of the program and before we can open the lines for you. So it's your turn. We have only 2 minutes now left for you to put your calls, and let's hear from you. What is trending? You can put the calls and let's hear from you what is trending. We're still expecting Prince Cripplat and Moses Sandy, our 2 diaspora journalists, panelists rather, to join us on the program. As soon as they are ready, we're going to link them on, and of course they're going to join us, and we're all going to talk about our dear country. But in the meantime, Dave, let me hear from you. What's trending?
Well, what's trending? I know we have it on our agenda. Actually, I was absolutely flabbergasted when I saw the crowd that turned out today to witness the Prophet Key show up on the grounds of the Temple of Justice. And I said, wow. In fact, Prophet Key today turned into a celebrity. He was celebrated as far as I'm concerned. And so I said, look, this is free publicity government has given Prophet Key. If nothing comes out of the case, it will be a free publicity for Prophet Key. He was not even sounding remorseful as far as the interview he had with the journalists were concerned. Even his wife was also confident that the case would be a dead case. So, in fact, Prophet Key is not worried. Then the question is, what is he depending on? And that's a $1 million question maybe we would like to talk about in the as the show proceeds.
Okay, Edwin.
What's on my mind? I have been a little bit excited seeing our country making strive in the Foreign Service Fund. I saw something today from the Saudi government. They've been in country talking about the road from Menikoma to Vonjama, that project, and also making some commitment to also light the corridor from the substation in Bon County from Botota all the way to Vonjama. And I think those are laudable efforts to see now that the government is pushing off front. Now we are talking to the Saudis. They've already in country. They have a huge delegation in the country meeting with the various stakeholders. I think this is positive for us, and it is only happening because you have a government that you can, that they believe in, that they can rely on, and then also that government has shown some level of credibility in the eyes of, our friends and brothers, because those people are not going to come to any country where there's all of these issues of corruptions and other stuff. Wherever the Arab guys put their money, they want to make sure that it's used for the intended purpose. So kudos to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, to the Ministry of Finance. I think we'll get there soon, someday.
Okay, you start on a more PR note.
Thank you.
Mine is it's a serious concern. I think I see today I didn't sit in my office for long. I had to go to Marshall. And on the highway, I saw the fleet of keke that has taken over the road. It's also similar on the highways, the major highways. I think this is dangerous. I don't think it is good enough for us as a country to see our major airport road be littered with tricycle. I think the police, in my opinion, the police is really relaxed on this issue. I see motorcyclists taking over the city again without any enforcement. I see them driving or moving in areas that they were once told they shouldn't venture in on the main Cassidy Boulevard. I see them taking the Johnson Street Bridge. These are things that I think are not correct for the country. I don't think restricting the movement of tricycle or motorcycle in certain areas in any way will stop someone from getting a daily food or daily bread. I also think I was very happy today when I saw the update, the roads update, development update from the Ministry of Public Works. So that they say the project will start this year, this dry season. It's the construction of another bridge along this Johnson Street, the Gabriel Tucker Bridge. It's the construction of another bridge on the side that will give way for vehicles coming from Bourgeois Island coming to Central Monrovia, and vehicles coming from this Central Monrovia pass through the existing one to go. It means that the lanes, the 4 lanes, will be strictly adhered to. It will definitely decongest the traffic from Flagler. I think that's a project that, personally, if it happens, I would be really, really glad to see it.
Okay, thank you. Okay, listening to the Nighttime Heat, right here on Pram FM 105.5. This program is also being streamed live on Pram FM Monrovia 105.5, and also streaming live on our YouTube and our Facebook page. Just tap Nighttime Heat, and of course, you're going to watch the show online. And besides, we wanted to share the live video so that your friends, your relatives, your loved ones can also follow what's happening tonight on the program. Well, for me, I know Moses and Prince Kripla, when they come in, will try to bring them in, but I'm concerned about and I want to be very, very, blunt and blunt and not missing my words. The way some of our colleagues perform in their duties, especially not talking about people from the print media, the newspapers, writers, but I'm talking about those who are on the radio. The way they speak, the way they do their broadcasts, especially when they're talking about national issues, the manner in which and the fashion in which they handle those discussions as if they are not librarians. And sometimes some of the things that they say, they can be far-fetched. What they do is that they just embellish innuendos and talk about them and create the impression that what they're saying is reality, is turning negatively on our profession. But unfortunately, I know the PL follow. The leadership of the president of Liberia follow, and they know exactly what we are talking about. Because of the attitude and the unprofessional way some of our colleagues behave, it's bastardizing our profession. It is totally bastardizing our profession. So at the end of the day, sometimes people tend to be so condescending when it comes to journalism, or when they talk about journalists, people don't give us, that sort of admiration or respect, because there were some of our colleagues listening to a talk show host and using, because it's a form of invectives. When you talk in a way where you tend to diminish the respect of the individual or of the public servant. But again, the PL, like I said, they follow, but they can't do anything, because the union from time immemorial does not have the teeth to bite. The union doesn't have. And so unprofessional quacks, uncultured individuals, they enter our profession. And at the end of the day, they cause embarrassment for all of us. It's troubling. When I'm listening to the radio, I tend to listen to the various shows, and I listen. I say, what is this? Are these people trained? To what level were they trained before they put them on the radio? I can remember before some of us joined the state broadcaster, it took us years. Well, how do you call it? David Cobb reporter or that? Fine. We're going through training for years. We took years, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8 years before they could even give us ID cards. But nowadays, politician establish a media institution. He looks for the freshmen, many of those not trained, many of those not qualified, just takes them in and gives them recorders to go into the streets. It's unfortunate. And what is happening, what it is doing to our profession, it is bastardizing the profession. It's causing total embarrassment for us. But for this problem to be solved, it's not only the press union alone, the government has to play the role. That's the reason why you see someone who came from the background, or whether it's true that they came from the background of medicine, and they find themselves now using the public airwaves and spewing innuendos, lies, condemning our public officials, some of them, saying things about public officials that they know nothing absolutely about. And those people are being celebrated. They're being hailed. Today we see some today. So gentlemen, it's really been of major concern to me, the way our profession is taking a downward trend. It's taking a downward trend. Today,
I blame the government.
Yes, you can add.
100%. I blame the government. The issue of regulation or regulating the media should be allowed to regulate itself through the union. But if you do that, it means that you should give some authority, licensing authority
to the press union.
The press union will now vet the media houses, and they will checkmate you. If you don't follow the code of ethics of journalism, they can easily communicate with the government and say, look, this institution is not following the code of ethics.
And revoke your license.
We need a letter. Mm-hmm. Simple thing for the government to do.
And I'm sure
press,
it's happening right across. It's happening right across Sierra Leone. Yeah. But look at Liberia, Ghana, Nigeria.
Everywhere.
The press union has the authority, but it's not happening here. But let me try to welcome Moses so we can get into our discussion. Moses Sani, welcome to the program.
Thank you. Thanks, guys. I had to be a dad today. I had to pick up my daughter from school, so
Okay.
Get ready, praying to my schedule, but it is always good to be back. Let me say hi to all of you in studio. It's a pleasure being here. And I don't know what you guys were discussing, but I bumped into this. This is very interesting. You know, if I can just piggyback on that quickly.
Mhm.
You know, so I heard you say the media situation in the country is appalling. It's sad. And I heard George also said the union must get involved in setting the standards and helping to regulate. Absolutely. The both of you are right. But let me put this to you guys. If you have folks who are top media managers in the country, when they themselves don't know what they're doing, then what gives them the qualification to decide whether Moses Sandy can practice as a journalist or not? The people who's supposed to manage, take for example, the state-owned broadcaster, the top managers have no clue what they're doing. And these are the people who decided news content. What moral standing, what moral rectitude do these people have to tell a George Kennedy that he cannot practice? Absolutely not. And there are so many other top managers. At the level of government, these are people that are supposed to be setting the standard when they themselves need to be tutor. This is a problem. It's a serious problem, so yeah.
Surely. Yeah, surely.
And
It is.
I thought that if those regulations were put into place, the PUL will, as a union, will have had the moral standing, the legal backing to checkmate some of those individuals and institutions. But right now, even if PUL expels you or suspends you, you can still practice. So the standard is zero.
It's zero. It's
So
zero.
that's really why we need to push to set, and you will see that everything will reset. What's happening here today happened in the countries that are now enjoying the standards that they set. We need to follow their suit and set the standard. You will see.
Okay, so you are listening to the Nighttime Heat tonight, right here on Prime FM 105.5. This program is being streamed live on our Facebook and our YouTube channel. Just tap Nighttime Heat, and of course, going to follow the show online. Also, we are streaming live on Prime FM Rovio 105.5. Let's try to get the video.
And so what?
Yeah, Moses.
I beg you, what is on my mind quickly? I shared a video with you guys today. What is on my mind has to do with the confirmation hearing of the minister designate of the Ministry of Youth and Sports. This woman, approximately 2 weeks ago, her hearing was rescheduled. Her initial appearance, the woman designated to manage the affair of the young people, she opted to use the very young people, took the kids out of school, created public nuisance at the Capitol. What happened? She showed up to the Capitol this week for confirmation hearing. The very senators that postponed her hearing, you listen to them, instead of even speaking to what this lady did, they were in session celebrating the woman, telling her, "Look, go and do a great job." The woman sat in there and referred to our society as a dysfunctional society. Nobody in that session was able to correct this woman, but they were there, showering praises on her. It tells you the kind of society we have, the kind of weird society we have. We don't hold people accountable because of party loyalty. Look, we have a lot of work to do. That's why that really stood out to me.
Okay, Moses. let's try to bring Scribbler on quickly. Mr. Scribbler, welcome to the program.
Thank you so much, Saba. It's a pleasure to be here, and let me say hi to Mr. Sandy and that of Farmer. I'm excited once again to be here, and hi to the Liberian people on the sound of our voices.
Okay, thank you for joining us. Okay, so gentlemen, like we said, our first discussion will have to do with the drama today at the on the grounds of the Supreme Court, Temple of Justice. The much awaited appearance of a Prophet Key today happened amidst huge bystanders. I was so shocked when I saw the crowd of individuals who went there. But first, let's try to get the video of Prophet Key entering the grounds of the Temple of Justice and claiming ministers. Let's try.
Gentlemen, boys and girls, here we are at the Supreme Court of Liberia, along with the Supreme Leader Prophet Key. We are here. So it is what it is. We just arrived, to come and honor our invitation from the Supreme Court.
What time we get this smell, eh? It's tired, it's all I
Yeah.
As you can see,
You see, journalists are now going to Prophet Key for interview. The journalists themselves, there are too many as well. I've been here today because it is very difficult to get access to Prophet now because the number of journalists present here today, the Prophet has not yet got it down, but the place is packed. We have a huge turnout today. Everybody want to see Prophet Key.
The officer is saying no.
I think I'll bring you up.
Yeah, he will come. He had a talk to the journalist. And of course, he will come.
The Prophet is about to speak to the press.
Are you sure you are going to walk out in 3 minutes today? Yes. Did you come with extra clothes in case you are supposed to go to jail?
They're free for jail.
Well,
They need a support here. The people over there, they need the prophet to bring the story out.
Did you insult the mother of the
Okay. All right. Let's try, gentlemen. Let's pause the video. That was the arrival of Prophet Key today. But prior to his arrival, Prophet Key did a video, and he indicated that there were individuals who were telling him to escape the invite from the Supreme Court. And so he said that he wouldn't escape that invite. Rather, he will show up. And for true today, Prophet Key appeared today at the Supreme Court. We understand that the invite indicated that Prophet Key comes along with his lawyer. Unfortunately, he didn't carry a lawyer. And then later on, we understand that the Supreme Court decided to get a public defender for him. But let's hear from you, Edwin. Let's begin with you. You are a student of law. Just give us an idea as to what happened in line with the law, especially when Prophet Key was told to carry a lawyer. Unfortunately, he did not.
So basically, yes, on our law, you once you are invited to go to court, or once you are served a raid or you are indicted, you have to be represented by a legal person. But in that, it is your prerogative or your expensive to decide who are you going to hire. Also, under the same law, if you do not have a lawyer, if you cannot afford a lawyer and you go to the court and make an open plea to the court that you do not have the resources to hire a lawyer, it is binding on the state to provide a lawyer for you. That's why they have public defender. These public defenders are under the Ministry of Justice, and they've been paid to defend you whenever you don't have a legal representation. It means that you do not have the money to pay them. If Prophet Key has carried any lawyer in there today, it means that he have to pay that lawyer to represent him. So he went to court today, in as much as the citation may have said that you can come along with a lawyer, but it's not compared that he has to come to the court at all costs. And like he went there today, he said, I don't have a lawyer. It means that he cannot afford to pay a lawyer. So therefore, the state is on duty to provide a lawyer to represent him. Under the fundamental right doctrine, he has that allocated to him, to have a free, fair, transparent process, because the law does not want for his right to be trampled upon. Now, mind you, now, it is a small man dealing with the bigger people up there. So pundits are watching, other legal experts are watching to see how the case will go. And I see a lot of people celebrating, oh yeah, this is nothing, perfect case is going to work out of the court. No, that's not how the process works. The very first thing that he did today was to appear before the full bench, and he was asked whether he came with a legal person, and he said no. Why? He said, because I don't have a lawyer. It means that he cannot afford to bring a lawyer. So therefore, the state right there is under the obligation to provide a legal representation for him, so that all of his rights will be asserted, will be guided while they go through this process.
Now, doesn't the law allow, and I'll come to you, Tabwe, after which, doesn't the law allow that after you've told a defendant, maybe from the angle of the Supreme Court, like in the case of a Prophet Key, you tell a defendant, or the court tells a defendant, come along with your lawyer. Doesn't the law allow for you immediately, if at all you don't have a lawyer, or if at all you don't have the capacity, come to immediately respond to the Supreme Court and not waiting for your appearance date?
No. The law does not call for that, because actually it's not an exchange between you and the court. The court summon you. It means that you have to appear. They say appear on today's date, and when you are coming, come with a legal representation. It is not for you to go and write them, say, oh, I'm going to select advisory lawyer. No. You come into court, you come along with your lawyer. And that lawyer should be a counselor at law, because only a counselor at law can practice before the Supreme Court.
Okay, let me hold
you. Can't care at law.
You saw the appearance of Prophet Key, and also follow the latter part of it. Let's hear from you.
Well, I made a brief stopover, and I saw Prophet Key as a celebrity today, because of the yes, of course, the mixed feelings. There were people who booed him, there were people who cheered him up. But from my observation, those who cheered him up were more than those who booed him. And that's why I concluded that they made him a celebrity. And regarding the issue of coming with a lawyer, not coming with a lawyer, is the normal procedure of the legal process, that when the court invites you, quite frankly, obviously they will tell you to come with a lawyer, even if you don't go with a lawyer. And the fact that if you are indigent or you don't have money, you're poor, you can afford the cost of hiring a lawyer, the government is obliged, or the court that the Temple of Justice is obliged to assign you a lawyer. That's exactly what happened today when they assigned Prophet Key. I understand 2 public defenders. And another thing I'd like to talk about, and that's part of the due process. They gave him the due process, and the fact that he didn't go with a lawyer, it didn't stop the government from giving him a lawyer, and that's the due process. But what is of concern is the same people who are angry with Prophet Key, who feel offended by his utterances, are the same people he appeared before. So I'm wondering, how transparent will such a case be? Those who have accused you or who are frowning on you for allegedly insulting them or insulting their boss, with the Supreme Court, are the same person, are the same persons you are going to stand there, same person who are going to question you or interrogate you. So then the concern is, how can the referee now become the player at the same time?
Okay, so in addition to that, let me find another angle to your question. And let me ask a question to George. George, the Supreme Court has finally found a lawyer for Prophet Key, the public defendant, one of them. But how possible that Prophet Key will get real justice when the same people who are angry with him are the same people finding lawyer for him? Let's hear from you.
So it is not actually the Supreme Court
I
that
know the
is
correct guy, yes.
the lawyer for Prophet Keys.
Okay.
It's the Ministry of Justice. The Supreme Court is a party in today's case, and so the Supreme Court will be represented by its lawyer. There will be legal debate between Prophet Key's lawyer and the Supreme Court's lawyer. The members of the bench will sit and ask questions. And I believe that the Supreme Court rules based on impartial justice. All right? If Prophet Key's lawyers happen to defend properly in line with the law what he said, all his utterances against the bench, and it's really, some of the cases, media people can be there. If it is really proving that what he said or what he did was in line with the law, that really will be based on
Okay. Okay, Moses, let me hear from you.
And to speak to what Mr.
Tagbe
said about being a judge and a jury, you know, that's the highest court of the land. That was how to call it, defamed or demeaned or whatsoever, denigrated allegedly by Prophet Keys. So no other court above that court. No. So in fact, that's where they will be very, very careful not to infringe or not to do anything contrary to the law, because Supreme Court rulings serve as law.
It's a law, yeah.
It's a law. When the Supreme Court rules on matter, except the legislature makes a law overturning such thing for the future, but it becomes law in the country.
If I even did a can do it.
Okay, let's read that. Let's read that. Moses, the lawyer who's going to appear before the Supreme Court is a public defendant, and he knows exactly that he's going to appear before the Supreme Court, a court that has the authority to disbar him. In other words, if you want to come Moses, let's hear from you. Do you think that lawyer will be brave to differ with any members of the Supreme Court there?
Well, I am not a student of law. I do not claim to be one. But in keeping with due process, like Edwin said, Tagbe and the other and George, when someone goes to court and the person says, I am indigent, I am poor, I cannot afford a lawyer, as part of the due process, the court is under obligation to provide the person a public defendant, because they want to make sure that this person's rights are protected under the laws. That's what happened in the case of Prophet Key today. Again, the question about whether the lawyer appearing before the Supreme Court, whether the lawyer would be intimidated or not. I don't think the lawyer should be intimidated because basically, whatever that will be said in a court will have to be proven beyond all reasonable doubts. Prophet Key and his lawyer must be able to convince the court that what he said, the allegations he made, that he has the evidence to demonstrate to prove that yes, those allegations are true. If he cannot demonstrate that, then of course the law would be the law.
Okay, let's go in there.
But quickly before I go, something I want to say quickly, Sober. You know, Tagba spoke about it that Prophet Key today came across as a celebrity, a hero in our country. And as I watched that video, I said to myself, Liberia is indeed a weird society. We do things that just make us to look bad to the rest of the world. Things that are very unusual, abnormal. You take, and I don't want to put this guy down, but you take somebody that is considered a non-entity, a nobody. And you see people running all over the place celebrating this man because he has the habit of continuously insulting women in the country. And we're celebrating him. So, but it just mind-boggling. I just can't believe that. I can't believe that.
Okay, let's go there. And hear from Crippler. Crippler, I'm sure you agree that many lawyers, they always speak very highly of the Supreme Court, and they are always careful as to how they appear before the court and how they plead the law as well before the court, because they know exactly the court has, that highest court, it has the authority to disbar any time. Do you think the public defendant who has been asked to represent Prophet Key, do you think he's going to bravely appear before the Supreme Court and allow and help Prophet Key to get a relief? Let's see if we just unmute.
Yes, sorry. What I was saying is that in every democratic culture, the Supreme Court is the final arbiter of justice.
Mm-hmm.
Whether or not the members of the bench will be impartial or partial about their judgment, that's the framework that is available by our, laid down criteria. And so we all can just assume and hope that there's going to be, fairness, transparency, and the law will be executed based on the principles laid down, not on individual perception. That's all we can anticipate. And I'm happy that the Supreme Court started the process very well by allowing Mr. Key, because you see, so I'm carefully choosing the word Mr. Key because I don't regard the name prophet ascribed to that young man. I disagree with that, because if you look at the definition of the word prophet, that's a different ballgame. So I'm not going to call him prophet. I'm calling him Mr. Key if his name is Key.
Or a self-styled.
Yeah. Okay. Fine. Maybe people know how to put that, but it's good that the Supreme Court is proceeding with the process in keeping with due process, lay down legal foundation. Because tomorrow, once the Supreme Court come up with a ruling, the basis for arguing that ruling will be on legal principles. Even though I don't agree, I said it before, that there's going to be anything happening to Mr. Key, because he enjoys the confidence of the entire hegemony of the ruling class today. So I do not believe that there's anything that is going to happen to him. Politically, that issue might be handled later on. But it's good that he fought the due process is pursued, and the Supreme Court, be very cautious, on how they deal with the matter. They deal with it in line with laid down legal principle, and they have started that. I commend them for that. And let's watch and see whether the Thursday appearance, the real legal argument is going to happen. But nothing wrong happened today. That's the procedure under the law. Once he came and say he is an indigent client, the court has, or the state has, the obligation to provide him a lawyer, and which they did today. Thursday, we will see exactly what is going to unfold. But I want to make this very emphatic that nothing is going to happen to Mr. Key, because he enjoys the confidence of the entire hegemony of the country.
And I agree with,
no, you are not actually talking. Do you agree with him, George, that he enjoys the confidence of?
I disagree with him on that.
Okay.
You see, when it comes to the law, and you say that, it means that definitely the Supreme Court going to untwist the law because probably he supported some of the people during the elections. No, that's not going to happen. I agree with everything that you said besides this, because if he says so, it means.
No, let me state what I mean. You can define what I mean. You can define. You can define what I meant by.
Say what you mean, then we come back.
So my argument is not that the Supreme Court is going to arm twist the process. We witnessed the former speaker removal exercise. The Supreme Court rule. The Supreme Court is the final arbiter of justice. She interprets the law, but to enforce the law rests squarely on the lap of the executive branch of the government. So the Supreme Court could rule finding Mr. Key guilty, but with the executive branch of the government implement the ruling of the Supreme Court. We saw that in the case of the former speaker removal. The Supreme Court ruled in line with the law, but the executive refused to implement or enforce the ruling of the Supreme Court. Similar situation could happen, because why did the former speaker ruling didn't get to be honored is because the former speaker did not enjoy the confidence of the current executive branch of the government. Mr. Key does. Mr. Key does. So any ruling against him or in his favor could be enforced by the executive branch against him, could be rejected by the executive branch of government. I would not be surprised if that should happen, because it happened before.
Okay. All right, let's hear. You still want to come in? So
he said, cool. So I'm not going to be responding to something that has not happened, okay, for me to see in this case. Okay, let me come back to you, Mr. Law student.
Mr. Law student.
Yeah. Let's see this case. We see it from two perspectives. Prophet Key, the self-styled Prophet Key, didn't just denigrate the full bench of the Supreme Court. He went further by even extending his attacks. He took a serious swat against the Chief Justice, going beyond the Chief Justice. Do you think, Mr. Law student, that this case will be held or will be handled from two perspectives or just one?
Well, Prophet Key is being brought before the Supreme Court for contempt proceeding. There's no civil or criminal matter between he and any member of the bench. As far as they're concerned, his actions was meant to bring the Supreme Court or the judiciary to public disrepute. Now, Prophet Key is not the first Liberian to have ever been brought before the Supreme Court for that. There was a famous case called Inri Abayomi Cassell. Abayomi Cassell was Attorney General who went to a conference outside of Liberia. The Supreme Court Chief Justice was also invited to that conference. At that conference, he made derogatory statement on the rule of law in the Supreme Court.
Okay.
When the Chief Justice came back, when they all came back, he was asked, he was brought in for contempt proceeding by breaking the Supreme Court to public disrepute. They investigated. He went on. In fact, he was debarred from practicing law.
That's different.
No. So let's not make it seem that this is the first one that we see. Now, Perfect Key, whatever you guys
Self-style.
call him.
The self-style prophet.
All right, yeah. Whatever you guys call him, right? You know, I listened to you saying the lawyers, they will have the time, you know, what are they not be afraid? No,
To have the bravery to,
of course.
plead before the Supreme Court.
The Supreme Court
What case?
let me
ask the order for what case are they really carrying before the Supreme? What pleading are they going to do before the Supreme Court?
Now,
because it's clear. I mean, you hear Prophet Key
Whatever
in the
pleading-
video.
no.
So-
What you
so
see
what
clear
case?
may not be clear.
There are
before
few
No, I
the
don't
court.
know. You're not being asked a question.
You're not-
Asking.
there are a few things that they can argue on. One would be whatever protection he had under the Liberian Constitution for free press. But again, that has limitations. So it may not even suffice. They could go into all the different statutes, the Ibrahim, how they call it, the Kamara statute, or whatever. They could go to the Table Mountain Declaration and all these things. But again, this is a contempt proceeding, right? So they're going to be there, like he readily said. The justices will have to question the two lawyers on the law that has been presented to them to say, how do you look at this? How do you interpret this? What do you say this? And I heard somebody saying that, you know, they are the judge, the juror. So that's how our system is set up. That's why when you go to the Supreme Court, in fact, only important matters go to the Supreme Court, or matters from the lower court go on appeal to the Supreme Court. There, they don't take evidence. So whatever you come with, that's what they look at, and then they cross-examine you. Now, the process is a voting process. That's why they are 5. So even if they meet, and then there is also contempt proceeding that, you know, it's been held, and 3 of the justices say, no, we don't see anything wrong with Perfect Key, he will walk free. If 3 say, we think this man, his actions were intended to bring the court and the Chief Justice to public disrepute, therefore we find him guilty.
Okay.
Whatever punishment he has to go through, you have to go through that.
Moses, let me come to you. Moses, what do you think could be the reliance of the public defender, the quote-unquote legal counsel for the self-styled Prophet Key? Do you see any reliance judging from the AMRAC, you know, Kamara, you know, law and what to note about free speech, and judging from your education in a journalism about responsibility, you know, that, you know, one takes responsibility for whatever they say, although they have the right to say. But what reliance do you think, especially when you listen to the tape, you also heard Prophet Key? What reliance would this public defender have to appear before the Supreme Court?
You know, a law is reasoning, right, Edwin?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Law is reasoning. So that's the case that they're going to make. They're going to say, look, as far as we are concerned, our client committed no crime because what he said is covered by the law of what? Free speech. And then there are the lawyers representing the Supreme Court will counter what the public defendant lawyer will be saying, or what the public defender will say. So that would be the debate. That would be the argument. So whoever wins,
So Moses,
yes.
sorry,
Yeah. So what I'm saying here is that
Moses,
yes.
Moses, you are a trained and professional journalist.
Yes.
You learned the media very well. You know about the free speech and its responsibility. You know about the Abdullah Kamara law and all of that. Are there reliance for the public defender to appear before the Supreme Court on behalf of the self-styled Prophet Key?
So excellent question, and that's going to be the burden of proof. That's going to be the burden of proof on the lawyer defending the quote-unquote Prophet Key. He's going to say, look, you guys, the allegation you levy against my client is incorrect. Then the court will say, okay, convince us. And let me ask Edwin, what do you think about that, Edwin? Wouldn't that be the argument?
I think Edwin spoke on that.
No, Edwin is the law student here. Edwin is the law student here. He's the law student here. He knows it better than. But I'm saying going to court, basically the argument is going to be on the basis of what? Free speech.
Free speech, yes, and free speech is enshrined in the Constitution. You know, our laws are ranked at different level. You have the Constitution, you have statute, you have Supreme Court opinions. So, like he rightly said, they will have to convince his lawyer, all right, will have to convince the justices that their client utterances is protected under the Liberian Constitution, quote unquote, the article that talks about free speech, and therefore the Supreme Court cannot hold him liable. Now, then he has to go further. If there's any Supreme Court opinion on such actions, that you will have to also invoke to be able to convince the justices that yes, maybe in 1945, similar things happened, and the Supreme Court brought in XYZ person, and this was the law at that time the bench uses. So once the Supreme Court of Liberia have not been able to record that law, because the Constitution says that they are the only one that can review their own opinion, it means that it stands as a law. So they can also use that. They could go into the Ibrahim Kamara Act and invoke maybe certain sections that says that, you know, free speech is protected. But again, the difficulties that they are going to have is a clause that within the Constitution itself that says that whatever you say, you are held responsible for the consequence thereof. So that's where the challenges now will have to be, that they have to go and prove that indeed whatever their clients are saying is covered within.
Okay. Yeah, Prince, you wanted to come in, Crippler.
So Saba, I'm not a lawyer, and I don't intend to claim to be one. But I do know even the constitutional provision on free speech, the Table Mountain Declaration and the Abdullah Kamara Act, all of those instruments are instruments as a human rights defender I work with very extensively. All of those instruments do not support hate speech or hate speeches. The jargons, the lyrics, and the argument of Mr. Key are always very offensive, and they are hate speeches. I don't see how his lawyer is going to provide a defense for him in that regard using these instruments that Moses and that of Edwin have just referenced. I don't see how he's going to do that. I maintain that the only pathway out of this entire situation by Mr. Key is some kind of political leverage. If it is legality, trust me, the Constitution does not entertain hate speeches. The Constitution does not entertain immorality. To do that, for the Supreme Court to clear, or any lawyer to argue and Mr. Key be clear on the basis of free speech, we send a very bad signal to the international community about our country. It's also going to set a very bad precedent for our country. Free speech, you who are exercising free speech, you are held responsible for the freedom that you express. Okay. If you do it wrongly, you could be penalized for doing it wrongly. So I don't think that Mr. Key will have a power out of that.
Okay, so let's go there. Moses, 1 minute.
So in a nutshell, all of these bills that were passed, Table Mountain, Kamara, all those bills are subject to Article 15 of the Constitution.
And I said it Friday.
The Constitution supersedes. So as Mr. Crippler said, it's going to be very, very difficult, if not impossible. In fact, I can clearly say, based on what I know that, but I'm not a lawyer.
So then,
It's a
gentlemen, then why should our public defender waste his time?
No,
It's not waste of time. It's due process.
No,
That's a
but
process.
so what?
And let me say this.
No.
Yeah, so what? Yeah, no, so
Moses, 1 minute.
Just to
Yeah.
clarify something. Look,
okay,
when
just
you
a minute,
take-
so
Yeah, Moses Westmore.
it doesn't mean
oh,
that
okay, go ahead.
the lawyer is going to win that case for you. It's for the lawyer to represent you. It means that you have somebody there who knows the law who is going to represent you. So now, most often lawyering is fishing, right?
Mhm.
And the reason why we are saying here, the public defender will be looking for things to hook on that he thinks I'll be able to sell to the justices, because in this case, and they are like the jury.
So you are a student of law, you found those things to work on?
Oh, no, but these are the only instrument that he can sit and look at and say, look, I think when I argue this way, maybe one or two of those justices would listen to me. Maybe if I invoke the Camara Act and I'm able to convince them to explain it, they may be able to listen to me. I think if I bring in the Table Mountain declaration, I can take small idea from there. So
Okay.
so it's almost like they're
most
trying to
definitely.
fishing to be able to see who in the room there would believe our story that they're saying.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Moses,
listen.
Dave.
Okay.
Moses, you can come in. Moses, you can come
Okay,
in.
yeah, okay, so I just wanted to say that, like Edwin absolutely put it, that's what's going to happen. And that's going to be the uphill task for the public defender to convince the court. He has all these legal instruments, free speech. He's going to quote them. The intent is to convince the court. And now he must be able to demonstrate that effectively. Other than that, Prophet Key will not walk. He will not be able to walk.
But yeah, Moses, let me go in there. Let's look at the reality, the aspect where free speech now has been
Criminalized. Yeah.
Let's look at that. Now, do you think Prophet Key, and this question goes to all of us, all of you, not me, do you think Prophet Key can get some reprieve as a result of this decriminalization of free speech? Let's hear from you, Edwin.
So the first thing is that there are two kinds of contempt, right? They have criminal contempt and they have civil contempt. So
which one are we
it
talking
is
about?
not clear. This is civil.
Civil.
Of course, yeah, because criminal mean that probably he was in the court, he attempted to fight the judge, or he did. But this is a civil contempt. So that's where whatever law that decriminalized whatever is it will not even suffice. So if I was even in the shoes of the public defender, I would not even want to go that route, because as soon as you get a post, no, but this is not a criminal matter. This is a civil matter where this man trying to bring the court to public disrepute. So therefore, whatever decriminalized free speech that's in, working there. But again, like George said, what takes precedent before the Supreme Court is going to be what the Constitution says about what free speech is and what the consequences.
So in another word, the Table Mountain Declaration or the Abdullah Cup, they are all subjected to this.
Those things.
But Mr. Scrippler said it also.
The unfortunate thing I heard Prince Scrippler say that what Prophet Key said was his speech, and the Constitution doesn't condone that. Okay, the unfortunate thing is that we haven't played Prophet Key voice about what he actually said.
Oh, he said a lot.
About the
No,
Supreme
no,
Court.
no,
Have we- Do we have the recording?
On our show.
We can't play. But do you know what would make the case?
In let me tell you something about Label. In Label, as journalists, if we air that man's voice here,
we get in trouble.
we got in trouble. You
What
understand?
we're going to do,
We can't air
all
it
of
here.
us will leave and David
Mr. Sunday, you can't air it.
But this is the point I was driving at. This is the point I actually want to drive at. You know what would make the case difficult for even the government lawyers? What would make the case difficult is that the court did not set a good precedence in the jury and the case.
Which are the court? that we're talking about two courts
We have
here.
provided
Yeah.
this
We
information.
provided information to you.
Yeah,
This
on
case
Monday.
about Judy Andy was at the level of the lower court.
Uh-huh.
You're talking about the highest,
Highest
court,
court.
in the land. The Constitution of Liberia gave the highest court in the land the contempt power. There are only two branches of the government that have contempt power: the legislature and the judiciary, headed by the Supreme Court.
That is obvious.
And I just quoted a case here wherein that same Supreme Court, in fact, an attorney general went to Nigeria to make a statement, and in there he says something negative
Yeah, okay,
about
you said
the
that.
court.
You said that. Okay, gentlemen,
So they have the
let's-
authority.
Gentlemen, let me comment quickly. We are talking about the self-styled prophet. Like Moses said, he came across as a celebrity today. Granted.
And I observe it too.
And this is a guy who I can remember during the last administration, although he was not in country at the time, but he ran a lot of insults against former President Weah. He couldn't be arrested. That's the same guy who, again, been accusing women, including Judy Andy.
Judy Andy, yeah.
He was taken to court. And unfortunately, the legal advisor to the president drove to the...
Favorably intervene. Prophet
He
Key.
drove to the Solicitor General. And as a result of that, Prophet Key was left off the hook. Gentlemen,
Information to that.
Akami.
He didn't put this
Information to that, please.
Okay,
Can we?
go ahead.
Let's clarify
No,
being there
wait,
because
let me give you
we
information. Go
got
ahead.
thousands of people listening.
Go ahead.
So that case was a civil case as this. Julie Andy went to the Solicitor General to pursue criminal case against Prophet Key for this same.
Granted. I'm coming.
Julie Andy had the right by herself to walk to the
It's
court to sue.
understood.
But if you say,
I'm coming.
Yeah,
The
so,
point we want to,
which he didn't.
I'm coming. The point we want to lay all the year is that that's the same self-styled Prophet Key we are talking about.
Yeah.
Under President Weah administration, he insulted President Weah. He insulted other women.
And there's hundreds of women.
Insulted women.
He insulted
Yeah.
The same utterances,
Yeah.
similar utterances.
Granted. Now, Moses, let me begin with you. What do you think tomorrow Prophet Key is placed behind bars? He becomes a political prisoner. Moses, what do you think? I'm coming. What do you think could be the optics? Because that's the same Prophet Key. He did it under the last administration. You know, he was never penalized.
He was the
Now he's doing it under this administration, under a rescue administration.
Why are you laughing, man?
I'm trying to specify.
Rescue administration.
Moses,
I got you. What Moses know what to say.
Hello, Sama. Our people always say, there's time for everything.
Yeah.
And in this case, like all of you have said, the argument about free speech.
Moses, wait, I'm asking about the optics.
Okay, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm just about to say that. The argument about free speech will not help in this case. What that guy said is obscenity. Use powerful voice talking about someone's private part. That has nothing to do with free speech. Making serious allegations against the court, that has nothing to do with free speech. I don't see any negative optics here for the government. No. Basically, the government is enforcing the laws of the land. With this, I will stand with the government on that.
Okay, so let me hold you there. In the administration, I'm coming to you. In the previous administration of former President Weah, he went the same route. He used those same words. At the end of the day, he was not handled. He was not arrested. He was not detained, because I'm sure apparently the former administration saw that, look, let us not give the guy a credence. But in the rescue administration now, this is a man who knows he may let me go to jail. Let me hear from you, Prince Crippler. What do you think could be the object?
So yes, Sobo.
Mhm.
I think the greatest risk for not just the government but the entire country will be for Mr. Key to go scot-free, especially so that he is now before the Supreme Court of the Republic of Liberia, the highest court of the land, the final arbiter of justice. For him to go scot-free would mean to open a floodgate for everybody to be very immoral in their different arguments, whether on social media or on the radio. So look, let's move all the other politics out of this one, right? Let's move all the other politics. President Weah did not do it yesterday because probably he wasn't in the country or he is just a different person. At this time, the case is before the Supreme Court. The Weah time, he was not before a Supreme Court. We are not talking about a case called by an individual citizen. We are talking about a case called by the very Supreme Court. So it means that if he's set free, the president exists for lifetime. Lawyers will quote it for lifetime. So I'm happy that it is before the Supreme Court. Let him go scot-free and see what will happen in this country.
So
see what will happen.
Okay, now do we consider this case as a landmark case?
Sure.
Oh yes. Oh
It
yes.
is.
It is a landmark case.
Oh
Saba,
yes.
Saba,
Mhm.
if we want our citizens to be disciplined, if we want our people to be responsible and respect ourselves and our leaders, this case determines it.
And
No joke.
And Mr. Judge, I think there are reasons why the framework of the Constitution give the authority to the court and the legislature, because they don't have enforcement power. Under the law, before they could criminalize free speech and how they call it, libel and other stuff, who dare could stand here and insult President Tubman? You dare couldn't even do it.
Even Tower.
You know, even Tolwa. But because
Even Charles Taylor.
you dare you
The
dare
ATO
do
go
it.
for you someone.
Of course. But I think those who actually were the framework, they were very, insightful to say, look, these are the two branches of government that don't have enforcement power. So anybody could just say anything about the legislature, anybody could insult the members of the Supreme Court. So they told it they told it was that, look, if these people don't have enforcement power, we give them contempt power. So to protect them, and they use that contempt power as the law dictates
To protect themselves.
So once they see that they're actually being brought to public disrepute,
They apply that power.
They apply that power.
Okay, so gentlemen, let's try to we're not going to transition yet because we still got some videos to play, but a video of an official, a director at the National Port Authority where our good friend George Kennedy works. Let's try to play that video so that we can,
So that's a
Gentlemen, that's Queen Johnson, if I'm not mistaken, her name.
So
I'm coming. She's currently she's currently a director at the National Port Authority. She's a decision maker.
Where?
She's saying at the port.
At the
She
port.
got people working
She
well.
just an
No, a director is not ordinary.
Okay,
You got
director.
people working under you. Yes, she has people working on her. She's the head of the department. I'm coming. Now she appeared. She's still there. The man knows. The man knows.
No, I don't know. Somebody
Yeah, but
You're on camera. Now
I don't know anything.
she appeared today at the court and she was, interviewed by journalists, and you heard what she said. An official of government endorsing and supporting a misconduct.
Don't just say official, a female
official endorsing or supporting a misconduct of an individual like the self-styled Prophet Key against the head of the highest court. Gentlemen, Moses, Crippler, let's begin with you on that. Crippler, you can come in.
Saba,
yes, sir.
You are very right. And let me, for the purpose of the rest of the other colleagues, so that know how well positioned the lady is by being a director in a public agency. In a public entity, a director role is the single most highest civil servant position. All other positions above you are presidential appointments. So that is not an honored position that she occupies. She occupies a senior civil servant position in the government. The other point is, the lady in question there may not be a ranking member of the Unity Party, but when you look into different political configuration, there are individuals who sit at a strategic level where they sit and interact with key political decision makers, and they will communicate what the political decision makers will not be able to communicate. So you see what she was saying there, it is the official position of the Unity Party that she was communicating by virtue of her standing in the Unity Party. Remember Queen Johnson in the Unity Party? You remember that she was accused of killing a young man, and not a single call was made by the Liberian National Police to invite her. That's how powerful that girl is. So she was communicating exactly the position of the Unity Party and the executive branch of the Liberian government. But the good thing is that if they dare try this case, they are setting a floodgate that will affect even President Boyka. They are setting a floodgate that will affect President Boyka.
Queen Johnson, I agree with Prince Crippler. The Queen Johnson, I don't know, the self-styled Queen Johnson, or I don't know, the Unity Party Queen Johnson, and the Unity Party Queen Johnson. Actually, he's one of the untouchables in the Unity Party. She's one of the untouchables because I follow her utterances and her actions. And the case that even Prince made reference to, no one called to ask her. She was accused of having a hand in the death of that person that Prince made reference to.
Yeah, Joshua.
Joshua. And she was never called. We were talking about the life of somebody who was brutally, taken away. And she was never called. If she were called at any time, I don't know about it. So I've always seen her as one of the untouchables in the Unity Party and even maybe the government. But what I can say, she's very naive. Naive in the sense that you cannot support Prophet Key with his derogatory or disparaging comments about the High Court, and you say you support him. It's absolutely naive. Because the justification, look, just listen to the justification. Yeah. Because the man helped bring the government to power. So you should have the freedom to insult people all around the place, including even members of the Supreme Court.
So
but allegedly. So to me, he's one of the untouchable, and trust me. Not all happen to how to call her and the self-styled Queen Johnson.
Let me hold you there. You're listening to the Night Time Heat directed on Prime FM 105.5. You can please share the live video. The program very interesting tonight. Share the live video so that your friends, your relatives, your loved ones can also follow what's happening tonight. We are streaming live on our Facebook page and our YouTube channel. That's the Nighttime Heat Facebook page and the Nighttime Heat YouTube channel. We are also streaming live on Prime FM Morovia 105.5. Now, Moses, do you think by now, Queen Johnson should be relieved of her posts?
Look, so let me begin on this note. Most often you guys hear me talk about political patronage. Queen Johnson is a graphic example of such. Where in the world, where recruitment are based on merit, Queen Johnson, semi-educated, where in the world such person will even be hired as an office aide? This is what we're dealing with. That's what I said earlier, that Liberia is indeed a weird society. We do things that are unusual, strange. The woman make this silly argument. Oh, you know, Prophet Key brought the government to power. So what?
So I support him. Can you imagine that?
And this is the woman that manages people? Mr. George. Mr. George Kennedy, you work at the Freeport. I don't know if you had interaction with this woman. Is this the woman that people report to?
George's boss lady there.
No, that doesn't make sense to you.
I mean, is this the woman that people are reporting to? You see how primitive she came across. We are in trouble, my people. We are.
Don't cry. Don't cry.
This is sad.
Don't cry.
We are in trouble. I'm sorry. You know, she misspoke, honestly. You know, she didn't do well. She didn't do well.
Director for records.
For records? But then she educated. If she's taking care of records.
Let's hear from you, George.
So really, frankly, when it comes to my country, I don't like to bend. I'm disappointed, you know, fairness, but I can't say more than that.
You're disappointed.
Yes.
For a Queen Johnson.
You know, Prophet Key,
So
somebody to
say,
talk
I
about
support
him,
Prophet
so I'm
Key.
disappointed. That's it.
I support Prophet Key for abusing the Chief Justice and the Supreme Court. That's what it means.
But you know,
I
Sabo,
support Prophet Key.
and
I'm coming to you.
another thing, Sabo, is that, you know, that's the difference between the CDC and the university.
No, you're not coming in. I'll please you.
So let me say this, and I 100% agree with Moses Sandy. You know, to see these kind of people into the governance cycle as assistant director or director, it speaks a volume of our country. Let's be realistic.
Yeah, man.
There are a lot of brilliant young people in this country who have graduated from school, who have master's degree. They're just sitting around because they're not from a political party or because they don't know anybody in the government, so they don't have the opportunity. And you take these quads because they were running yesterday with T-shirts and stuff. And if we're going to continue on this route, this country will not move forward.
We'll not move forward.
I was highly disappointed when
So
I saw
are you
that.
admitting that the Unity Party? No. I want to ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. So the Unity Party that has said that I think to make it was no. They say no. I want to ask my question. The Unity Party said it has come not to do business as usual. So now he is admitting. As an affiliate of Unity Party, he is admitting that the Unity Party is doing business as usual.
Losman Whitner, we're not going back and forth. We're not going back and forth on this. Every government within Liberia has always passed this track, and this is why the country is the way it is. We don't take competence to put them in places to run our country. We're always doing this. How do they call it? Political, you know, stuff here, and it is wrong. You cannot. First of all, I challenge anybody from the United Party to tell us what was Prophet Key level in the election of President Boubacar. Not because he sat on
his level of involvement.
His level of involvement.
Yeah,
you can say that because there were people in this country who, when they speak, people listen to them. They were the one who made President Boubacar president, not the likes of Prophet Key or Stanton Waters.
But how come he has proximity to the vice president? Traveling with you, so many as far as on his delegation all the time.
Vice president is a politician. No. Listen to me, please. Prophet Key is from Nimba County. The vice president is a politician. Irrespective of what we say, Prophet Key cannot walk into a place where the vice president is sitting and he pushing. In fact, Prophet Key even this respected the vice president at a forum. I think it was at Prince Johnson.
Did you say disrespect?
Yes,
He did.
where he called the vice president Peking. It's a disrespect, irrespective of even the age.
But is it not true that they met I picking? No, let me
David,
find
don't
out.
do this, man. Stop.
Let me find out.
Hey, my man, Pagba, don't do this, man. David Pagba, don't do this, man. I beg you, man, don't do that.
It's serious,
David,
right?
even
Let's not
if
joke
the
about
man
it.
is 5
Serious.
years older than the vice president, the vice president is the leader in the forum. He should be given respect. You don't go to a forum and say my Peking. It's a form of disrespect. You don't do that anywhere in the world. So that's my point. And again, in fact, when even the EPS guys wanted to get him off the stage, the vice president said, "No, you're leaving. Let you sit down."
Okay, let us not go there now. But gentlemen, my disappointment is that for Queen Johnson to come up publicly and say that she support the self-styled Prophet Key because Prophet Key had insulted the full bench of the Supreme Court. I think she does not merit the job that she's in. And this is a challenge.
That would be administrative decision.
This is a challenge for this administration.
Saba.
I'm coming. This is a challenge to the administration to still retain Queen Johnson in her position after coming up publicly by saying she supports the insults by Prophet Key against the Supreme Court and the Chief Justice. She does not. No, that's not freedom of speech. She does not merit that. I'm hoping that those in the hurricane, the leadership of the country, they will do something about Queen Johnson. What she just said, and we just played, it just, and if they don't do anything, it will have a bad grading of this administration. Yes, Moses, we're coming in. Moses.
I just want to say, Soba, I agree with you 100%. And I agree with everything you guys said, George, Edwin, Prince, Tabia, everybody. I think this woman misrepresented the government. And I hope people in the leadership of the Unity Party will reconsider her appointment at the NPA. You can't do this. You can't do this. I agree, Saba. Thank you.
All right, so let's play this video quickly. Before then, let me go to Prince Kribla quickly. Yes, Prince.
So for me, I will be proven wrong if the Unity Party will even muster the courage to condemn that statement. I'm not talking about dismissal, because dismissal is something that is unthinkable for a Unity Party to do and this government to do. The reason I'm so emphatic about this, because I believe very strongly that Mr. Key enjoys the confidence of the hegemony of the government and the Unity Party. They are very grateful to Mr. Key that he supported them to win election. So even if he insults the whole country, if he brings the entire country to public ridicule, they will support him. But I will be proven wrong if they can only muster a courage to issue a public statement disassociating themselves and naming and shaming this Queen Johnson lady in terms of her statement she made in support of Mr. Key. The other last point that we're missing here is that I don't know whether you saw this, Soba. Mr. Key went with a female he called his wife and she spoke.
No, that's his wife.
No, we have the video. We'll play that. We'll play the video.
Yes. The lady spoke stating that her husband did nothing wrong.
We'll play the video. Let's not go there yet. We'll play the video. But there's a video that we're going to play. I'm sure a video of the same Prophet Key. Let's try to play this video quickly. Gentlemen, let's listen to Prophet Key. That's what you were asking.
I was taken for jail because I'm a political commodity. If you don't know what I mean, tell you. You just need to use me so your parent can be soft. Let me make Joseph Boakai president. But the presidency against Joseph Boakai, that what you see now, how you call it? Yami Base now, happy can Chief Justice, than me. So I'm a political commodity. So the government said I need to have me in jail for long. It's not good for them because I'm a political commodity.
Gentlemen, let me begin with you. George, you are a strong sympathizer.
Yeah, there is-
Not even a sympathizer, but a member of the Unity Party. To what extent Prophet Key helped to bring the Unity Party to power?
So you see, as he just repeated the line that Queen said at the quote, you know,
That's
the
exactly
line.
that.
So I mean, this is so disparaging. This is embarrassing for this guy to be giving this kind of. I mean, for me, I don't even think we should give him publicity because yes, he's human being. He has to live. He has to be giving.
But you know the party started giving them publicity.
doesn't need-
Why we shouldn't do that?
When you know the
set up the
United Party platform that gave him publicity,
But the next
which are the
person-
United Party campaign that he
No,
appeared.
listen.
No. Face the reality.
No, there's no
When we're
reality
talking
here.
about this country, when
Okay,
we're
let
talking
I'll
about this
come in.
country, we should be real and face those who want to divide us and spoil this country. This, I know, Zan, what's it? What the guy? Some kind of funny name.
Self-styled
This
prophecy.
self-styled prophet Key is just one of them. You can't be so rude. I mean, all your comments, and what is more disturbing is that next video that going to play about his. I didn't know that guy was married.
No complaint.
I didn't expect any woman that didn't
I
be
hope got a
around
video killed. His wife.
because his behavior for me. I'm a cultural person. I don't care what education I got, where I have. I'm a traditional person. I respect people. I believe in my culture. I believe in my country. I love my country. I believe in respecting people. Yes, we can have disagreements. And that's why people like this, I just keep them far away from me because you won't help me. I won't help you.
But it's difficult.
This
I'm
is
coming to you,
ugly.
Edwin. It's difficult to
Yeah.
say people like this and keep them far away from me. How do you keep them far away from you when you have, just in recent time, the man was in the office of the Minister of Information? The man is rubbing shoulders with almost all the government officials. He claimed every stairs and bragged. He just bragged not too long. He said, I brought this government to power. I gave Jesus Boyka the presidency.
And
how
his
do
wife said the same
Okay,
thing.
fine, I come in there.
I can also sit here and make the same claims that I brought Joseph Boyka to power.
No, for you, in front
Is that
of the vice,
true?
for you, in
No,
front
no,
of the
no,
vice
no, no.
president.
Is that
So if
true?
you said that is his claim.
Is that true? No. Look, let's be serious here,
No,
right?
we are serious.
I don't know why we even want to give this. For me, I refer to him as clown because what he guys does, and it is not only him. If you follow most of our sisters, I think Brother Moses is in the U.S. If you follow most of the Liberian women who are trying to be this celebrity on the internet, looking for view, all they do, they use profanity. There was one day I think they called Charlotte Roberts or so.
But Susan Bay,
You know,
the CDC
and
queen.
people are using this thing to make money. In fact, I saw on the Prophet Key stuff asking for people to stay in style because that's how he makes money. So they do these things to get popularity. So that's where now we have to come. Look, there should be a social media law, or there should be some kind of system put in place that we can checkmate these people and even report them to Facebook to block them, because the reason why they're getting away with these things because the people don't understand how we speak. Because if this was in the US where they know that you put in our profanity and other things out there about women, Facebook automatically block you. But because the people don't understand our language, so they sit out there, they insult people, they talk about women private, and that's what Prophet Key is doing. All he's doing is looking for follower at the detriment of the Liberian people, and he does not know that he's influencing another society.
Okay, let's wait there. Dave, you just listened to Prophet Key, bragging that he brought the government to power.
Yeah, a similar thing that the Prophet Key Queen said. Queen what? How they call? The rescue mission
Johnson.
Queen Johnson said that Prophet Key brought the government to power that so anytime he gets up, he can rain insults on any official of the government. But again, what is encouraging him to mean is that of his proximity to high people in the government. He boastfully said that even if they put them to jail, the simple will take me out. There's nothing. So the only president's government can set now is to take a very, very serious action against Prophet Key. If they anyway, the matter is in court. He said in court now, just a preliminary.
Before the court.
Before the court.
So it's not more like
if Prophet Key walks away, like he walked away in the case of the Judy anything, then we have to me will be about precedence.
Okay,
so the penalty is not more than jailing.
Moses, let's hear from you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I concur, David.
Yeah.
I think the government should do, I mean, the court, let's not say the government, the court should do everything, not on the basis of prejudice, but the government should do everything possible to ensure that the laws of the country are enforced in this case. If this man is in the wrong, let him be held liable. There should be no political interplay. And Prince, let me disagree with you. I heard you say that the lady from the NPA, what she said, has a full endorsement of the Unity Party leadership.
No.
I think that's absolute generalization because you don't have the facts, and we shouldn't do that. In every group, you can have some people that can be off tangent. So what she did, she was completely off tangent. I don't think she did that with the acquiescence of the leadership of the Unity Party or President Joseph Walker. I don't think the president will sanction something like that. And it is not fair to the administration for us to say that.
Okay. All right, so gentlemen.
But Moses, I just said they should prove me wrong. I said they should prove me wrong. Okay. We almost gone 24 hours since the lady made that statement before the public glance. All of the media, the most powerful media in Liberia, were at that ceremony when it took place at the court. All of the political figures in that country followed that identical statement. Why haven't they issued a statement to disassociate themselves from Mrs. Johnson? Why haven't they done that? So unless they do that, I mean, one can only agree with me that the entire hegemony of the Unity Party, they are protecting Mr. Key, like Mr. Key has said. In fact, what we think must have gave Mr. Key the courage to go before the Supreme Court if there were no political honor hand assuring him that go there, nothing's going to happen to you. You think Prophet Key just walk over there? I play in Liberian politics. I know how very bad the politics in Liberia is. Prophet Key did not just walk over there. I will only be convinced that he walked there to exonerate himself without being given support or assurance by anybody if the court go through the process and we see the real outcome coming out of there. Other than that, trust me, the man is enjoying the confidence of the entire hegemony, including the president.
Okay, thank you, Kripla. Thank you. Now, gentlemen, finally, for us to transition, Prophet Key, drove to the Supreme Court, the grounds of the Temple of Justice, in a very, in a white vehicle, and flanking, standing by him or sitting by him, flanked by his wife, his darling wife, and makeup and dressed and all of that. Let's see where we can get a video because she spoke to the media as well.
Everybody in the street, listen, almost good.
So are you confident that your husband will walk back home?
Yeah.
Are you confident?
Yeah. The county.
Where is the county? Are you going to enter in with the county?
Yeah,
Prophet Key,
yeah.
Are you going to enter in with the county? Are you going to enter in with the county?
But we are Africans, our culture. What happened to you? Now we're going to.
So since Heki is now saying that he going to enter into this coward thing, so since members of the organization are making sure that. So we're still here, the arrival of Prophet King, with scores of media practitioners are here.
Okay, so gentlemen, in an interview that they conducted with his wife, I listened. She said, and one of the questions the journalist asked her if you said Prophet Key did nothing wrong, or the self-styled prophet didn't do anything wrong, if he used those same words on you that he often used on other women, and she said she wouldn't have problem with it. But listen to let's hear.
Well, look, Prophet Key, Prophet Key and his wife, Prophet Key is almost like a loving and caring husband for his wife. So you don't expect a wife to move on beyond, even though you can saw by loving and caring. Because had it not been the case, the woman would have.
And you saw the woman well dressed.
You see the woman well dressed, dark shades, and supporting the husband. Let's be serious. On a serious note, look, it's difficult. In fact, it's very difficult for a woman's husband to be in trouble, and that woman backs up and doesn't support the husband. Only a few women will do that. Will be brave enough.
So even if the husband is wrong,
well, even the husband, that few women will muster the courage to tell their husband, "So yeah, they won't buy you wrong." But there are some other women they won't do that because they feel that if they do that, quite frankly, they lose the relationship. But she doesn't have that courage. She didn't muster that courage to have looked in the eyes of Prophet Key and say, "Honey, you are wrong." But she supported. They're proudly supporting the men. So. Almost like
she said the man did nothing wrong.
The man did nothing wrong. You are a woman. This is a man who many times has been accused of insulting women or disparaging them. And you as a woman, you say you support your husband. There's nothing wrong with that. So I mean,
now, so let me ask Moses the question now. Moses, you listen to Prophet Key, the self-styled Prophet Key wife, and she said her husband did nothing wrong, and in fact, she was asked a question by journalists if her husband used the same words that he normally use on women. What else she said? Well, she wouldn't have any problem with it. Now, does it go beyond the love, Moses, that a woman should have for her husband? Let's hear from you.
Let me come in this time not as a journalist, but as a mental health specialist. So this is what happens. We always say that the environment in which people live can shape human behaviors. When you grow up or when you are in a relationship that is abusive, the way Prophet Key speaks out publicly, anyone can agree here with me that he does the same thing at home. So because this woman has lived with that, such pronouncement, such behavior, she sees it as something normal.
Yeah.
It is normalized for her.
Quite correct.
It is only you looking outside will say, no, this is unusual. As far as she's concerned, it is okay. So that's why we say when you have children in the home, your behavior should be in such a way that they don't model the negative behaviors. The woman lives with someone who is verbally abusive. And so whenever he says negative thing to her, she said, well, it's nothing. It is normal. So that's what she was displaying.
Okay.
That's the kind of environment she finds herself in.
Okay, Edwin, let's hear from you.
Well, I will start from where Moses ends. And, it speaks a volume to see a female who is married to a man and they live in the same house, and this man come out and spit out profanity against other women, you know, and that woman comes out with pride and dignity to support that man and say, oh, but words are meant to be used. It shows that that's the kind of words that he often used on her, and for her it's normal. So it shows the psyche of these people. For me, I think that both Prophet Key and his wife needs to have a psychological evaluations to see what
I think we got to send for Moses to come
to see what are these people are actually normal people. Because like Moses said, even your kids in the home, there are languages that you don't feel comfortable using around your children. To see a wife accompanying her husband to the court because her husband sits on the Facebook, insult other women, dehumanize other women, going under their clothes, and she see there's nothing wrong with it. I think people need some psychological evaluations on a very serious note.
Okay, Josh, my namesake.
I didn't want to continue discussing this fellow and his family, but when they asked that particular question that you repeated twice, she bowed her head down before answering. That was an admission of guilt. You see, when I've seen photos or videos, I can see the movement. I try to study the speaker, you know, because that question was very critical for her. She may be crying in the house. She may be crying. Probably said anything holy on her head. Nobody knows. But when I saw that particular question, that moment, she bowed her head down before she could respond. That was, I don't know what Mr. Sandy would call that because, you know, she didn't know straight the answer. She bowed her head down.
No comment.
It touched her. For me, that's from that point.
All right, Kripla, let's hear from you. You heard Prophet Key's wife, the self-styled Prophet Key. You heard his wife. What's her takeaway?
I think I want to agree with Josh, right? I want to agree with George that woman needs help. She needs help. Remember now, Sobo, the former senator for Nimba wife came out recently and said that she was on some kind of, abuse or so forth and so on.
Yeah.
That woman, from her facial countenance, when that question was asked, it wouldn't be wrong if somebody were to say, I wouldn't feel the person is wrong if they were to say she's under some kind of duress. Apparently she's afraid. If she says something different, she return home, something is going to happen, or even if she leaves the man, something is going to happen to her life tomorrow. People can be on a certain kind of captivity and they are coerced to be somewhere, but indirectly they are under some kind of captivity. I want to believe that woman needs help. In the rest state of her mind, nobody, no woman, after insulting so many women in the country, I thought he didn't have wife. That was my thought, that he didn't have wife.
The wife show up to the publicly.
Yeah, she showed up.
You're dressed and makeup and now red sandals on.
She showed up well dressed, and when you
watch makeup and gown red sandals.
But son of not do anything wrong.
No. Was asking her, dress her hand closer to her. You see a movement.
No, not the bed when I read.
Maybe the better thing they want and say if you go with me
So what made you call on that?
That's why I wanted to say I'm kind of confused. I'm trying to figure out what is really going on. I don't want to believe, I'm not convinced that woman was in her normal self. Something is happening and it needs a lot of investigation.
You know, Prince, first of all, when the man was in Morocco, I understand he was married there. Is this the same woman or that different? Yeah, I don't know. For me,
exactly. Those are the questions in your eyes.
I don't know.
So you brought a woman now from Morocco back here I mean, we need to understand a lot of things.
Yes, we're trying to put the wife on the screen. So because she spoke to the media, you know, she made herself very relevant to the whole case. She spoke to the media. She said my wife didn't do anything. So we're hoping that we can get, you know, a picture on the screen so people can see the wife. You know, people thought that Prophet Key didn't have wife, but she showed herself up publicly today.
She unveiled herself.
She unveiled herself. And so we're hoping that we can get her on the screen quickly. But you're listening to the Nighttime Heat right there on Prom FM 105.5. We are also streaming live on Prom FM Morovia 105.5 and also streaming live on our YouTube channel and our Facebook page as well. We are here from Monday up to Friday. My team of panelists, very savvy indeed, politically savvy, very spirited. You know, every time they come on, we got interesting discussions. And the gentleman will shortly transition to talk about something outside of Prophet Key, but we're trying to just get this quickly so that, you know, the viewers can see who we are talking about, because it's necessary. People thought that this gentleman didn't have a wife. The way he talks and some of the utterances he uses. So okay, that's the wife there on the screen. You can look on the screen and see Prophet Key's wife well attired today. You know, she drove in the vehicle of her husband. What attire, well makeup today, and wearing her red sandals, and she was well attired.
So that red shoes or sandals you're wearing, it means I know when you go in the court, they say you wear red shoes.
Okay.
Maybe the wife should respect it.
I think that's why she wore it.
But then she should have just worn red dress and red
skirt. They said red shoes. So they didn't say red dress, they said red shoes.
So you interpreted on more dress. All right, so gentlemen, let's try to transition quickly. Let's transition, and that's the last topic for tonight. We know that the President, His Excellency Joseph Yuma Boyka, recently appointed J. Brani Samukai as head of a board that will manage the earth moving equipment, that on their way. But there's questions about this. There are some political pundits who believe that that appointment shouldn't have been done, especially when we have the GSA and the public works, who are responsible to manage this sort of equipment, especially the public works. So, what role is he going to play managing? Is it going to play the role in trying to deploy them and distribute them to the counties when the public works is here, when the GSA is here? Let's get your take, Moses, on this one.
Okay, so honestly, when I saw their announcement, what came to my mind was that why the redundancy? You have a Ministry of Public Works responsible for road construction and all other government infrastructures. You have the the General Services Agencies that manages government assets. Why do you need a board of directors headed by Mr. Brani Samukai, a board of directors with its own controller? So are we not going to be spending more money on a group of people that will just sit to manage equipment? And you have institutions created by the laws of Liberia. GSA, Ministry of Public Works. Is the president telling us that the Minister of Public Works, the Director General of the GSA, is the president telling us that these people lack the ability to manage and supervise how the equipment will be utilized in the country? I think that duplication of function, I may be wrong, but I strongly believe that there is redundancy. We don't need this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dave.
Yeah. What I do know is that the General Services Agency is the central procurement agent or agency of the government, and is also the manager of government properties as far as the GSC is concerned. If I'm wrong, anybody can tell me that. But the GSC, the GSA,
Yeah.
is the procurement agency. He's playing the role of a procurement agency and the manager of government's properties. So, like Moses said, maybe you'll create a usurpation of function. Who does what in terms of the equipment? But the other side of it is apparently the reasoning of the president is to lessen the burden of the Ministry of Public Works that is so embroiled in the rehabilitation and construction of many major roads across the country. So giving aid the yellow machine to also manage, I'm saying maybe from the reason, apparently the reason of the government, of the president, is that maybe he wants to lessen the responsibilities of the Ministry of Public Works. So it's saying it is so engaged or embroiled in the rehabilitation of many roads and the construction of major highways across the country. But what I also do know is that a board is a place where people, the president can appoint people to do strategic planning, So that I think the Brandon Samuel's committee are charged with the responsibility to strategically direct the usage of those machines. That could be one of the major responsibilities, to decide or design strategic plans in the usage of the yellow machines. But again, it's still, I'm sure it's something that people are talking about. Isn't that, would that not? You sub with that committee, then you sub the function of what authority, what supervision. But do not forget that the Ministry of Public Works will be represented on that board.
Okay.
Will be on that board, and even if possible, the Ministry of Public Works
Okay, Prince,
and the
let's hear from
GSA
you.
will also be represented on that board.
Let's hear from you, Prince.
So, Saba, for me, the president continued to demonstrate his disregard for the rule of law and governance best practice. You remember the president in the speaker removal case, he did not show regard for the rule of law. He did that with the removal of 10 new officials from different public agencies, the dismissal of, directors and civil servants who should be protected under the law. And he's continuing this. You saw what happened with the Labrador and Transport or Traffic Management Forces, the Ministry of Transport. Today we see the issuing of two vehicle lessons, driving lessons. So this is the continuation of this disregard for the rule of law. We have statutory public institution established by an act of national legislature that should perform the function that the president now has abrogated onto an illegal body, especially with somebody who has been banished by the court of our country. How did Mr. Samuka lose his senatorial position? Because he was sent to court, banished from holding public office.
That was
And
CDC
today, the
propaganda,
president
man.
is giving him public position.
That was CDC propaganda, Prince. That was CDC
It was done
propaganda.
to the court. Mama, give me a chance.
David.
David Tabwe. they will only be the Unity Party will only reward people like Queen Johnson because your approach is to supporting the government is not working for the government, right? So they will not reward you for that. But yes, the point I'm making is that Mr. Samuka was banished. So on what basis now is he going to be holding a position of public trust and repute? Even assuming that, I mean, putting that responsibility in the care of a board was right, which is not. But is Brownie Samuka even the right person? Is it not total disregard to the ruling of the court? Why did the court remove him from his senatorial position that he won?
Okay, let's go there. Let's go there. You made the point.
The president continues to demonstrate his total disregard for the rule of law and international best practice. So
Okay, all right, you made your point. You made your point. Let's hear from you, Edwin.
So Fiera, I just want to correct Prince Copeland. Mr. Samuka won an election. Yes, he went to court. He was found guilty, but your president pardoned him. Under the laws of Liberia, once you are pardoned, you are entitled to your full liberty and right as though nothing has ever happened. That's what our law says. So once Mr. Samuka was pardoned by your president, by President Weah, it means that his right has been restored. So get that correct. The next thing is that the president has the authority to create an institution or a board. He can do that by executive order, or he can propose a legislation to the legislature to enact a board or a commission. Now, what we don't know yet, whether this is going to be, what we don't know yet, whether this is going to be an executive order to establish whatever it is, whether it is a yellow machine management team. But as David Tagba said, Mr. Samuka hears it, and there are other members that include the Ministry of Public Works, the GSA, and so forth. Now, again, somebody cleverly said that maybe it's intended to take the load from on the Ministry of Public Works, because you're talking about 285 or 87
it's 300 SS or 300
or 300 more that are going to be divided on the various to the various counties and so forth. Now, the operations of these equipment is going to be very huge. That's going to put a serious strain on the operations of the Ministry of Public Works. And we should also realize that Ministry of Public Works also has her own fleet of equipment that she's handling. GSA do not have the knowledge in managing this level of fleet, because I think this is the first time in the history of Liberia that we're going to do this in this kind of a huge quantity. And that's why the president gradually brought all of these people on board. It could be a 1-year process, it could be a 2-year process until they can find a mechanism to properly manage and maintain these equipment across the various sectors of our country. And these equipment just did not come to make roads. These equipments will also be used for agricultural purpose.
Okay.
Now, who's going to make sure that these things are properly monitored and taken care of?
Is it the board?
The board, along with these sectors.
Okay, let's go there. You support the establishment of the board.
150%.
Okay.
It's true. The board is, first of all, the president has a right on our laws. That's the first thing. It's not illegal. The second thing is, from what I'm gathering, it's necessary. Part of what we can say on evidence, even the fleets of vehicles under the GSA over the years, have those vehicles been managed properly? No. That's a question for us to answer. Even Public Works' own equipment over the years, have they been managed properly? Well, it's another question for us to answer. So, setting this board, for me, it's a test case, right? To see, because Public Works will be utilizing the equipment. Who monitors Public Works? Who monitors Public Works as they utilize these equipment? Who monitors Agriculture Ministry as they utilize the equipment? you needed a body to
So
do
there's
that.
a need for the board.
Yes.
Okay.
So
Let's hold you there, gentlemen. Something just came up.
But look,
Yes. Moses ain't spoke on this.
No.
yeah, no, but I just wanted to say something quickly. you know.
Something that just came up, Moses. I want to talk about.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
Something just came up, gentlemen. I want us to talk about that in 15 minutes before we can close up.
Prince,
Let
you
me-
need to clap small for this, man. It's coming.
Let me read this quickly. It's
I wanted to
breaking.
respond to
Breaking. GMB finally ends
Breaking news.
APM terminals decades of monopoly. Import terminal operations at the Freeport of Monrovia. We all know
Yay.
that APM has been enjoying monopoly, but GMB has broken that. It brings in Africa's giant Massa Maroc to compete at an initial low scale. Massa will rehabilitate, provide modern equipment, and operate the LMC and
And the
BMC
BMC PS. Yeah.
specifically to handle bulk cargo. APMT will continue to handle container cargo and portion of bulk cargo. The move is an interim solution to attend to growing trade volume, reduce the current crisis congestion and its associated costs on importers and end
Consumers.
users.
Yeah.
While this
Wow.
interim measure is ongoing, a long-term concession for a modern multi-purpose terminal construction and operation will move in. Okay, gentlemen, let me end up with. Let's begin with you,
This is
George.
this is a breaking news, and this is what we've been advocating for. It's unfortunate. Some members of the legislature passed the APM terminals agreement. They said they made a mistake. They were going to correct it. They have not corrected it, and this correction has taken place already. What this arrangement, this particular agreement has done, is that it will APM terminals and Massa Maroc will start competing on cost, cargo handling costs. I mean, equipment, other handling costs, right? So once people will go for the lowest price, and once they go for the lowest price, it will have calm down effect on the population,
Sure.
on the prices of goods on the market. So this is a breaking news. This is good for the National Port Authority. This is something that we should celebrate, and I pray that we have a huge investment going to Buchanan and Greenville to really open the economy on that side. So
Okay,
yeah,
Edwin, let's hear your takeaway.
Well, competition everywhere in the world is good for business. I always tell people a few years ago, when we only had Lone Star here in Liberia, people were buying SIM card for $15 US. In fact, there were no $1 trash card. It was $15. And then if you don't put money in the phone by the end of the month, the phone locks. But when Orange came in, that's when some of us begin to realize that, in fact, you can even get a SIM card for free. You have 3-day free call. So competition is good. And for far too long, APM Terminal has managed the container handling, which most of the business people are, they cry.
Yeah,
Most
and
of
complaining.
the guys who are brokers or so, they're complaining. In fact, I have a friend who do importation of vehicles. He was just thinking about starting to move his shipment to Sierra Leone.
Yeah.
And if you do that, it's going to be taking away a portion of our revenue to other country. So I think this is a very, very good news. And I think it's even belated. I think we need to have it like yesterday and have those guys come in, because most of the vessels and some of the things are even carrying the fleets up also, because the existing port that we have, the port does not have the capacity to take up to 5 or 6 vessels. So sometimes when a vessel is berthed and discharging cargo, there are other vessels that are still on sea waiting. And every day that vessel waits here,
millions of dollars.
that's millions of dollars that they're losing. And who pays that? It is the people who bring in the consignment. It is and then the people who also bring in those goods. They transfer the cost to me and you.
Yeah.
So all of these things, if a vessel can get in today, and in the next 3 days is out, it's better for us. It's going to drop costs, and then there will be a trickle-down effect. So I think this is a very good news, and I think the government needs to move with this ASAP.
Okay, Dave, let's hear from you.
No.
Okay. Moses, let's
I
get
don't
your,
want, I
your,
don't
your
want to be
takeaway.
repetitive for the same.
Yeah, like everyone has said, I think competition is good. Whenever there's competition, customers benefits. When you have one person doing the business, the person can decide, how much you can pay. You have nowhere to turn to, so you will see more inflation. But when you have competition, who offers the lowest, but the quality is the same, people will turn to that. So I think it's good news. So let me end up by asking Edwin. Edwin, the question I want to put to you, it has to do with this autonomy bill for the ports. What is the status now? Because I know the president had 21 days to sign, and we have not heard from the president. So what's going on?
I know what happened is that the legislature through the Liberian Senate, I think they actually record that bill. They did record it because again there was another opinion from the the Minister of Justice again asking for the president to veto it. So in that vein, that did not happen. The legislature did record that bill. So as it is right now, it's no longer before the president. It gone back to the legislature, and I think there are some discussion ongoing behind the scene to get away with it and see if they can look at the existing act and see how best they can work within the existing act to, since you're looking for independence and financial independence, you can work within the existing act to see how best you can strengthen those things. I think that's what's going on right now.
Okay. Prince,
Thank you.
Take away. Prince?
Yeah, so I hope you give me the same latitude of time that you're giving to George, Edwin, the rest of the other.
No, they can't give you.
But here's my point. It's a good thing. All of us, every Liberian, wish for the APN terminal to have some competitor. And I think we are government work very hard to get this achieved, and did not achieve it as much as she wanted to. But you see, there are legal bases on which we should be happy, because the WIA administration did it before. They removed tariff on RPDs and other fees that APN terminal was collecting on the basis of negotiation between the government and APN terminal. In the end, that didn't hold because APN terminal took objection on ground that they have a 25 years agreement with the government of Liberia. So my point here is, have the agreement with APM terminal been reviewed, and on what legal basis is this new change being made? Other than that, we might just be happy today, and then later on something else suffice or come out. The last point I want to make is to clarify the point that was made by either Edwin or George about the issue of the Yellow Machine Committee. The president have the power to establish new institutions through two different legal frameworks, an executive order and also the executive law of Liberia establishing department in institution. That is, if the institution existed and you establish another structure in there. In the instant case of this committee we're talking about, they are all outside of the legal framework. You must have issued the executive order before you appoint officials on that. They have not issued an executive order yet. Two, the committee that they're talking about does not emanate from any institution. So that is an illegal process, and it still justifies the president's lack of regard for the rule of law. Nothing can change that. That is illegal.
Okay, all right, thank you. I think on the issue of the port,
so I just want that just to answer his question. Yes, the APN Terminal Act was reviewed.
All you want to say?
Yeah.
Okay, so gentlemen, let me say my own. I think on the issue of the new agreement to break the monopoly that APN Terminal has been enjoying, I think it's welcoming. We really appreciate that the president could take such a decision, because we know how businesses have been crying foul at the free port at the hands of an APM terminal. You know, especially when you have one person. They say when there's one man in the out of one black man, right?
In a community, in a town.
Fine.
Yeah,
So
it's a king.
you know, he becomes a king. So that has been the situation with APM terminal. So we really, you know, appreciate the president, and we're hoping that, you know, this can really improve, you know, our ports operation, and to also end the sort of difficulties and complications that our business have also been crying foul at the hands of the APM terminal. But all of this couldn't happen if we didn't have, you know, a good management team. Yeah, headed by
you said it's an interim arrangement. How can you
I'm coming, please. You say your own. Let me say my own, please. You say your own. Let me say my own.
Please.
All of this couldn't happen at the port if we didn't get a good management team headed by Sekou Dukle. It just shows that you know, his team have been extremely well. And like we said on this program, if the government did something positive, we'll hear the government. We'll celebrate the government. But if the government slept, yes, we all want to beat on the government. But thanks to Sekou and his team for the job well done, you know, because it is as a result of the effort that they are making, and we'll continue to support, you know, whatever effort that the government is making to improve the lives of our people. Gentlemen, 4 minutes to go. Any parting comment?
You are the only parting comment you made a day of Kennedy. You know, you just lavish praises on Sekou Dukle.
Okay,
that's a good one.
Thank you very much.
No, that's a good one. You are really, you know.
But we said it,
you made a day for Kennedy. And
but
that's he's doing well.
Dukle is doing extremely well.
Yeah, he's doing well.
He's doing extremely well at the end.
Let's say
and that's the reason why. Let me tell you, that's the reason why some of us didn't support that so-called
Devil bill.
Devil bill.
Decentralization bill.
So, gentlemen, we have to go.
So
any parting comments?
My parting comment for me, again, on the port authority, I just wanted to say thanks to the management team. Today, I was part of the team. We went to Marshall, to the Nigerian Maritime Training Institute.
Queen Johnson,
that's a sophisticated area. So actually, we try to train the manpower of the port. I mean, a lot of good things happening. Sekou is doing extremely well. Prince, please, I beg you, you know, accept this. You know, the thing is, when the country is moving forward, we should accept it. That's nationalism.
So my closing comments would be: I think it was a very good show tonight. Yes, we placed more time to the self-style Prophet Key
and
Mrs. Key. You know, hopefully we can have the keys. Maybe hopefully we can have a lock somewhere and then throw the key somewhere so that he can be quiet, you know, a little bit. And on the last topic, I think is good for us to employ both the management of the port and the president of Liberia, because I think he's finally yielding to the crowd of the port users, you know, of the way they've been charging them demurrage when they continue to come to the port at certain times. After certain times, you start paying SYZ, which is also putting certain level of hardship on the Liberian people. So I want to say thank you to the government.
Okay, so gentlemen, let me thank all of you for coming. We really appreciate, and thanks to the producers. I'm sure maybe tomorrow may not be in, but we'll be in on Thursday. Because tomorrow is holiday. Let me give you guys here the leverage to stay with the family. But we'll be back on Thursday, and we'll be back with interesting discussions. Until then, Sober George is my name. Have a pleasant time.